So we got our top 7 stocks. Coming in at number 7, we've seen Apple before. They've moved up back again. They're still a solid stock. They're doing really well. They were down 8.95% this week. In at number 6, and this is a new one for us, is Adobe. They were actually up 0.04% over the week. Now, the interesting thing about Adobe is they've got their creative tools, and they're looking at adding some next-gen tools to help power the next-gen internet. So they got things like Creative Cloud Canvas and Creative Cloud Spaces. These are basically shared areas where you and extra creators can all work together on the cloud. And they're looking at developing so that you can put Photoshop, for example, into it. They're also working on something called Adobe Aero. It's the most intuitive way to build, view, and share immersive AR experiences. So AR being augmented reality opposed to VR, but they're a step away from that. And according to Brent Thill, who's the Wall Street tech analyst, he's giving them a solid buy rating. And his opinion is that they're a top 4 stock pick for sure. So Adobe's looking very strong.
You don't really hear a lot of people talking about or using Adobe anymore. Not the way that it was like a few years ago. It's just shocking that they've made a comeback, but this is interesting.
I used Adobe to make the words on that chalkboard. just put that out there. Number 5, we got Microsoft. They moved up another point this week. They were up 0.69%. Microsoft, once again, after buying Blizzard, they're in a solid position to make an impact in the metaverse. All right, number 4, same spot as last week, was EA, so Electric Arts. They were down 3.64%. You're going to see there's not a lot of movement in our top 7 this week. In at number 3, they were 2 last week, is Qualcomm. They were up 0.50%. But anybody who's making chips that are powering things like the Oculus, especially their Snapdragon, they're going to be doing really well. And I think when we get a little bit higher towards the top, you'll understand why chips are pretty important. Number 2 is Intel. Guess what? Another chip manufacturer, down 1.83%. And our number 1 is a company that Ryan's been talking about occasionally on his stream. They're holed up there pretty well. They were down 3.49%, but they've actually been making a
really interesting news today about not this particular company, but semiconductors in general. They've seen one of the bigger pullbacks on the tech side, unjustifiably so given the demand level. So just sector-wise, it's worth looking into semiconductors. I'm not going to put my name behind any company, but sector-wise, it's worth looking into that because they've gone through a ridiculous sell-off. There's still an intense demand and only limited by supply chain and shutdowns. So it's worth looking into for sure. Candace nailed it when she had this one up 2 weeks ago.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely. And these guys are doing well. So definitely a solid investment to look at. And that's it for this week's Metaverse Tops.